morning, and then I get ready for my day, and then I go wake up all the kids. I make them breakfast. Um, we're running out of money, so it's tended to just be like an egg or two per kid, and like that's about all we got. And so just got to make sure they have their protein. And so I make them their food every morning, and then I get them ready. I send them to school with PB&J, because I don't want them to feel like they're on the low income, like the free and reduced lunch program, because I don't want them to feel bad, for me. So I just make sure that they've got enough food to go to school. So I pack their lunches. I've been getting Sammy to make his own lunches and have him help out with cleanup for breakfast. But yeah, so then I'll pack everybody in the Suburban, and we'll go to school, and I'll drop them off, the 4 guys, and then I'll go from there to Sarah's preschool, and then me and Darby go back to the house, and we pretty much just hang out all day, just waiting until school starts again, or when school's over. Then I go pick up all the kids, and we come back, and I pretty much have them watch TV with me, because I'm pretty tired, from the day of just hanging out with Darby, and so, yeah.
Yeah. So it definitely is a strength that you are very concerned about your children, that you want to get them their protein and make sure that they don't feel like they're on the low income end of the scale. That's definitely a strength that is within you, and I think that is something that you can use to get a job, since that is your main concern at the current moment. On what days do you job hunt? I know you mentioned that you hang out all day. What does that hanging out look like? Is it going out and doing job interviews, or just cleaning house? What does that look like?
Well, I mean, it's been a few years since I've really seriously looked for jobs. I just I gave up after a couple of years looking for them, but I'm running out of savings, so lately that's why I came in, because I feel like I need to get a job, and running out of money. But lately, I guess me and Darby just go and hang out at the park, because I want to make sure that she has time to socialize with some kids, and to get some fresh air. And I spend some of that time, socializing with the other moms, and a couple of them have showed promise about maybe finding me some sort of job, but other than that, I haven't really looked into those very much.
And you said that you had some savings. Where do those savings come from? Is that from your previous jobs? Is it inheritance from your marriage?
Yeah, it's inheritance from the marriage. It's what my wife left me after she passed away. So she was a lawyer, so she had lots of money. So she kept us pretty well taken care of. But, that bank account is wearing thin these days.
And did you have a job prior to getting married and having children?
Well, so we got married in college because we thought that would be the best choice. I don't know why, now that I think about it. I feel like we should have waited until after college to get married. But yeah, I got a Plan 2 degree, and so I didn't really have a great option after college. I didn't have very many applicable skills, so I did Teach for America, and thought that would be a good idea, but then I had to come back to my wife and Sammy at the time, and that was just a not really a great choice, because I feel like I sort of missed out on part of Sammy's babyhood. But anyway, I was a teacher for a couple of years, and that was really just enough to grow a tiny bit of savings, but just help pay for groceries and stuff like that. So that way, my wife could focus on her, lawyering.
So through the Teach for America program, did you get a teaching degree certificate?
I did.
Okay, so you have a teaching certificate?
Yes. But I don't know if I have enough time to teach, I've got so many kids, and I don't feel like I'd be giving Darby enough of my time if I was teaching all day.
Well, that's a legitimate concern, and I can see why you would feel that way, considering you feel as though you missed out on some of Sammy's babyhood while you were doing Teach for America. Have you applied to any teaching jobs?
No, I haven't really thought about it. I've been mostly just applying for like odd jobs, you know, like working at a factory, but just working there, like that's still too much time. I don't know, I don't feel like I've got enough time for work when I've got so many kids. So I'm open for ideas, I guess, on what to apply to. I mean, my Plan 2 degree, I feel like I've got some knowledge and I've got a few skills that I haven't applied yet in a career, but I just don't know where to use them.
What are those knowledge and skills that you have from having a Plan 2 degree?
Well, I can think pretty well, you know. I took like a philosophy class and a physics class, and those classes really taught me how to think critically. And then I wrote a thesis, which I mean, I guess is pretty cool, and I can show that off to my friends every once in a while. But I mean, those are like, that helped me have like good communication skills. So I guess I can write pretty well.
So we've got one, good communication skills. What else?
Do you know what Plan 2 is? Have you ever heard of that?
I actually have heard of Plan 2. I went to the University of Texas at Austin
okay.
for my undergraduate degree.
Okay, cool. So you know all about it. I mean, it's basically just a liberal arts honors program. People don't really know what it is all the time. So I feel like I'm kind of at a disadvantage trying to tell people all the time what Plan 2 is, but you know, eventually I think it'll get me a job and people will finally understand the power and strength of the Plan 2 degree that they sold me on. So, but I guess other skills. I mean, what other skills are good for a job or like a career?
Well, you know, that depends on what kind of career you want.
Okay. Well, I guess I don't have the opportunity to be like an engineer. Maybe I could be a lawyer, but I don't know if I've got enough. I guess I'd have to go to school for that. What other jobs? Yes, I could do. Do you have any ideas?
I don't want to steer you toward any career path at the current moment because this is our first
Right.
meeting together. I would really like to talk about your strengths and what skills you have for work that you see so that we can work together toward putting those skills together in order to get a job that you would want and love and would give you time to still be with Darby and take care of your 6 kids.
Okay.
So what does your ideal job look like?
My ideal job would have flexible hours, you know, and have the option of working at home, so then I can, or at least have a place where Darby can be with me while I work. And definitely a job flexible enough where I can go to pick up my kids and still have time to be with them in the afternoons and the evenings. So I guess time is a really big thing for me for my ideal job, and you know, obviously enough money to help pay for all the expenses, like for housing and you know, water bills and credit card bills and stuff like that.
Okay. Also, I know you've mentioned the importance of spending time with your kids. Do you have a support system around your kids? Anyone in the picture who is also building relationships with them, being around them, helping them through their childhood?
Yeah, I mean, I've got a brother who comes over every once in a while to hang out with them, and you know, he's a big time artist, so he sometimes like will help them, or he'll like show them some art and like tell them about his cool art projects that he's doing. But I feel like they need to have, you know, more women in their life, you know, because my brother, he's unmarried too. I don't know if he's ever gonna get married.
Do they have any grandparents in the pictures? Any aunts or?
Yeah, they've got grandparents, but they live pretty far away.
Okay. And does your brother live close?
Yeah, he lives like right down the road,
All right.
so just a few blocks away.
Okay. And speaking of living arrangements, where do you live? What is your current living situation?
Yeah, so we live in East Austin. We had to move out there so we could get some, cheaper housing. And it's a 3-bedroom place, and we got a pretty nicely sized like living room and kitchen that's like right next to it. And so I sleep in a twin sized bed, so then we can have room for Darby. Well, I guess she's about to grow out of her crib, but I guess 2-year-olds still sleep in cribs, And yeah, and then we got some bunk beds for the guys in another room, and then so yeah.
So how many people are sleeping in each of these rooms?
So it's me and Darby in one room, and then Sarah. I guess Sarah's alone in the other room. I don't know how that happened. I guess because all the guys just want to live together in one room. So all 4 of them, we got two sets of bunk beds in one room.
Okay.
Because Sarah's just, she's kind of the princess, so she's got to have it her way. So she wants her own bedroom,
All right. And when Darby gets older, do you see her moving into that room with Sarah so that you can have your own, or what does that look like? Because you said she's about to outgrow her crib.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, probably. Yeah, I think once she's big enough to sort of hang with Sarah, and they like to enjoy each other's company, I think they'll probably room together.
And I know you mentioned you live in East Austin. Would you like a job that is close to home, close to where you're living?
Yeah, that would be nice.
Okay.
I'm not opposed to having a commute, as long as I've got the flexible hours.
So from what I've gathered, you are here today because you're searching for a job. You've had a 5-year continuous job search that's been on and off since your wife passed away 5 years ago, and you have 6 kids living in East Austin. You want a job that's flexible enough where you can go pick up your kids from school and still have time with your daughter, Darby, but also pay your bills and have financial security within that. Am I getting all of that right? Is there anything you would add to that?
Well, my wife actually died like 2 years ago, but 5 years ago that was when I quit teaching and became a full-time dad.
Thank you for that clarification. That's very important. And so, if we could talk about what you would like to get out of this professional relationship that we're going to have, what are your goals, and what would you like to achieve through coming here and talking to me and coming to our facility?
I guess it's just nice to have somebody to talk to, about everything in my life that's not like my brother. Because it's cool talking with him, but, I think sometimes we need a third party, to help just have some open ears for my life. But I need some direction, like that Killer song, you need some direction to perfection. And then, I don't know, I'd like to come up with some career options, and see if there's any educational things that I need to do. Maybe help finding like night school if that's a possibility, so I could do that while I have a job during the day.
All right. And of those things, can you help me rank those from the most important to you at the current time to the least important? You mentioned career options, education, direction, and just the goodness that you feel from having someone who's an outside party to talk to about all of these things.
I guess number 1 will be finding a career.
All right. And what would your number 2 be?
What were the things again? What are the other ones that I had said?
You said career options, pursuing more education, perhaps night school to get a different degree or add on to your degree, having more direction for your life, which is kind of vague, but we could specify that in another session. And then you also mentioned that it was